Imagine this. You are an HR professional buried under an endless employee request, from payroll puzzles to onboarding hurdles, all while juggling administrative tasks. Overwhelming, isn't it? Right? Now imagine having one powerful intuitive tool that brings all the service under one roof, turning chaos into simplicity. Welcome to ServiceNow HRSD, short for Human Resource Service Delivery. Hello everyone and welcome to our channel TechnoMonk. This is the first video in our exciting series on ServiceNow HRSD. Whether you are an administrator, an implementer, or a HR professional, this series will empower you to modernize your HR services. So grab your cup of coffee and let's dive into the day one. Today we are starting from the ground up. We are going to explore what HRSD actually is, how it completely transforms the way HR services are delivered, and then why it matters to you and your organization. So we'll take a tour to employee center service, learn how to activate the critical HR plugins, and see how HR cases are created. Plus, I'll be showing you how the HR profiles tie everything together, ensuring that every employee is perfectly supported. Think of this as a first chapter in the story where you become the hero armed with the service now as your secret weapon to revolutionize HR. Let's start with the basic. What is ServiceNow HRSD? Picture a one-stop shop where every employee has instant access to HR services, just like using a popular consumer app. That's HRSD in action. It's a centralized HR request automated with labels process and delivers seamless experience for employees while boosting the efficiency of HR team. It's not just a tool, it's a change you need to shift from traditional cumbersome method to a streamlined digital first approach in HR. So let's break down HRSD. HRSD is built on a powerful platform that handles HR keys management, knowledge management, and lifecycle event. One from one dashboard. When an employee submits a request, the request gets routed automatically to the right HR, making no query slips through the cracks. Everything is tracked in one place, and the best of all, it's fully customizable to suit your organization need. So before we get started, right, first and the foremost thing we have to understand what are plugins we require in order to get this particular thing enabled on your system. So what you have to do, what we'll do, we'll just go to plugins and you have to open the plugins. It will take some time to get loaded. Needed. I was thinking to create this is from long time, but I didn't get time. But now I think this is the right time to focus on this particular series. Here we go. Okay. This is a plugin or application manager interface. And what you have to do, the name of the plugin is you can search with com.sn underscore hr underscore co. Okay. And if you search with that, I've already installed, that's why it's showing in the install state. So you have to search for this particular plugin out. Human Research Scoped App Core. Okay. So this is the plugin you should look for. So the first thing is done. The next thing, what we have to look is always keep one thing in mind. We have a global scope of application, right? And ITSM is part of the global scope application only. Now, when we install this particular plugin, it will be enabling a different scope, which is human resource scope. So first and foremost thing, whenever you start development on this scope, make one thing that you go here in the application scope. It will be something different. Currently, I was working on the Git integration application, so it's showing over here. But you go and select the human resource core as your application whenever you want to do some customization or configuration on this thing. Okay. Now, moving on to the next thing. Every application is made up of certain tables, right? So tables is the core component for any application, we can say. HR is in HR also it's the same thing, okay? And there are few critical tables, okay, which are really important and where all the cases lands. So basically, if you want to understand it at the layman level, right? So what is HR case? Okay, for example, you raise a request for payroll, then you want that particular request to route to the payroll HR. If you want to do some onboarding thing. Okay, it should go to the onboarding HR and so on and so forth, right? Now it will be difficult to manage all these things if it falls into one bucket only, right? On one table only. So that's now how it works. So what you have to do in order to understand the hierarchy, what are tables are important, right? So you have to go to COE. If you type COE, okay. So under HR administration, there is a COE configuration. If you click on this, it will show you all the tables. Okay, so you can enable and disable these things out. So you can see configure center of excellence that would like to use. Turning off will disable HR service, topic details, categories, record producer, and model, etc. for that particular CU. Okay, so you can simply enable. If you want to enable in your organization HR benefits cases, okay, you can enable this thing out. If you want HR composition, you can do like this. At this point of time, you can see HR payroll case, HR talent management case, total reward case are enabled on the system. Okay, you can simply enable or disable from here. Perfect. This thing is clear. And every service over here, you can consider it as a different table. Okay, so you got the point, right? So there will be separate table for each entity. For payroll, it will be different table. For talent management, it will be different table, and so on and so forth. Now the most important thing, okay, whenever we look at any application, you must be thinking, ki, okay, this is fine, but how exactly an employee will look into this, right? Okay, or how exactly an employee will consume this service? Because at the end, when we are talking about HRSD, we are creating everything for the employee only, right? So for that, we have really beautiful portal. So you don't have to go with a service portal for this. So you have just search for employee center, okay, under self-service. You do employee center, and it will open a new portal for you. Okay. So if we have to wait for it, and this was single source of truth for all the request or what exactly the employees will be using, right? So it's taking some time. Let me see. Till then, I want to show you one thing. Or you can enable this particular configuration. Okay. Like for portal, we have SP at the end. When we are dealing with this, so we have to just add /ESC at the end. Okay. To the instance URL, it will land you to this particular portal only. Here you can see it's somewhat like service catalog only. Okay, service portal only. Here you can see all the requests. Okay, whether it's hardware, software, network, so and so forth. Okay, these requests are there. You can search for certain things out. Now there are the quick links. For example, password reset. I used to use this particular catalog item every quarter because I always forget to reset the password. So if you want to do the password reset, if you want to request for standing desk and so on and so forth. Also, we have certain activities for software issues and so on. So, right? So from here, you can raise a request. You can search the request, what you want to add. You can see your profile. You can also track down your request at one place only. Whatever requests you have raised, if there are some service triggered for the employees, you can track those out things also over here. And this particular interface is completely customizable, so you can customize it the way you want. For example, if I open this particular password resets catalog item, okay. So it's just a catalog item kind of interface. Okay, it indicates whose password needs to be changed. Okay, what application password you want to change, and so on and so forth. So it's completely customizable. We will not go into that depth. Perfect. So now, if the case is raised from this particular thing, okay, for example, you could raise a case over here. Where exactly it will land? Okay, so over here, if we go to cases, okay, and here you can see HR cases. Okay. So we have seen certain models, right? So there was whatever we have seen in the COE, for those you can see over here. Okay. HR case we have seen, payroll cases, there was a model. I will minimize payroll, talent management, total reward, workforce administration, and operant case. So you can see for those things, there is a different model itself, and those requests will land into this. How there is different tables. So if I open this table out, okay, this table out, it's pointing to HR workforce administrator case. Okay, cases. This is the table for this. If I go with technical names for it, so this is the table. SN, HR core case, workforce admin. If I go with the other thing, okay, for example, if I go for payroll, and again I do technical names, it's HR, SN, HR core case, payroll. Keep one thing in mind for all the tables in HR, this will be the prefix. Okay, S for all the cases, HR, SN, HR core case. So you got this thing. Okay, this will be the prefix. Now you have seen where all the cases will land. Okay, but we there is one most important thing. Okay, we have to keep in mind that user table and the HR profile table is different. Okay, so for example, whenever we install and whenever we use ServiceNow application, right? So we'll be using this particular table, user table. Okay. Now here you can see there are 640 records over here. Perfect. But this is not the base table which is used as a user source. Okay. When we are talking about HRSD. So what is the table for it? So if I go for HRSD, it's HR profiles. Okay. Here you can see user is one thing which will pointing to this, and there is a HR profile. So this is a source of truth for this. Currently it's at 563 table. Now how we can create the records in this particular table out. So I will show you that. So for instance, if I want to onboard a user, first we'll onboard the user to the ServiceNow platform. Probably it will be coming through an ADC, LTAP and so on and so forth. But I will create it manually for now. So if I go here, I will give a name as Verma.Ria. I'll give a name as Ria Verma. I will not put any other things. And I will simply save this record. Okay. Okay. Let's say. Okay, there's already something I've created in the past. So I will give my brother's name, Chetan. Chetan, and I can give Chetan Gujarati. Okay. And if I save this record, now this record got saved over here. Okay. Never. Let me check that. If I go to all, we didn't get created. I think we have added some validations. All right. Let's go ahead with the Ria one. Now there was a profile for Ria, right? Ria Verma. Now this particular, let's check whether this particular profile is present on the HR profiles also or not. So if I go to HR profiles and if I try to search with that name, user, Ria Verma, so it's not present, right? Now how we can transfer the data from there to the HR profile thing. Okay, this is the most crucial thing, because when we have the employees onboarded on the HR profile, then only we can provide them with the services, right? So there are two options to that. First is like you can simply go to the user table only. I will go here, Vamaria, and here if you go down to the related list, there is a related link called Create Human Resource Profile. This one. Okay, so you can click on this, and once you click on this, okay, if I click on this, it will start creating profile on the HR profile list. Now you can see the HR profile got created for it, okay, and it's already been created, okay, else it will show the save button over here. And now when we create a HR profile, it asks additional details on top of it, because you know how HR works, right? They need this in detail. For example, employment information. Then you have to provide employment start date, employment end date, job start date, job end date, so on and so forth. What is the probation period? What is the leave status? Leave status in the sense if they are on paternity, maternity, so on and so forth. Okay. Department position, all those things. So you must have looked into this, right? Whenever your onboarding has been done, these many things HR are doing on the back end. Okay. On the contact side, they require your entire astrological history. Okay. home address, home city, and so forth. It's not stopping over there. There will be beneficiaries, who is covered, emergency contact. So it's pretty um easy to understand what exactly will be there in this, right? Okay, how we can add beneficiary, who is covered, emergency contact, direct report, colleagues, cases. If we have created some cases, leave and jobs. Okay, so everything these are the things, okay, which can be done in the profile. This is the first way. The second way is you can simply go to HR profile, create new, and from here, what you have to do, you have to just pick the user. Okay. So for example, what able tutor, okay, and then you can submit. It's already existing, okay, so it will not show, but this is the way out. Okay, you can submit and it will create a profile for them. Got it? So we have got how we can create a profile also over here. Okay. Now, how we can raise a case? Being a HR, how you can raise a case for the employee? So for that, if I go to HR cases, here, HR can see what all cases are there, what all cases are assigned to me, collaboration open, and so on and so forth. Okay. And also, they will have an option if I click on that to create an IT operation case. Okay. So from here, also they can create a case. So when they go to this particular portal, they have clicked new, then it will create a UI. Okay. Here you can search for first employee number, employee name. So for example, I was looking for Riya Verma, right? Riya Verma. Then you can customize these things out. We will be seeing how we can customize it into future videos. Okay. And this and what service they are looking for. So example, password reset. Okay. And this user needs password reset. And we can simply create case. Perfect. So this is how we can create case for any individual also. This is script verification. So this is a case got created for this user. One thing I want to show, okay, what is the table? So this were all the things which I was planning to cover. So in today's tutorial, what all we have seen, okay. First is what plugin, what is HRSD, okay, what is the use of HRSD, what plugin we require for it, what is center of excellence, okay. Then we have looked into different types of cases, okay, from the center of excellence. Then we have seen employee center portal, how the profiles can be created or migrated from the users to HR profiles, and what all things are present on the HR profile, like beneficiary, employment information, probation, and so on and so forth. We have also like what is the prefix for the table. One last thing I want to show is very important. Okay, so if I go to tables, right? Tables and column, I will go to tables, and if we search with the table name SN co case, so this is the base table. You can understand this. This is the base table, and this table get extended to various tables. The way we have task, and on task we have incident problem chain is the same thing. So this is the table structure for it. And this base table for HRD is also extended by the task. So at the end, everything is going to the task table only. Okay. It's also an extension for task table. So on task table has a child as HR case, and HR case has child like HR benefit case, compensation case, and so on and so forth. So this will be the table structure for you for the entire series. So this is all for today's tutorial. Okay. And there you have it. Day one of the ServiceNow HRSD journey. We'll cover the base. We have covered the basic of HRSD, the intuitive employment service portal, activate the plugins, and so on and so forth. In our next video, we'll dive even deeper into the lifecycle event and the powerful center of excellence framework. So make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a comment with your question, and give a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Thanks for watching TechnoMonk, where we transform HR challenges into streamlined solutions. Let's keep revolutionary HR together. See you in the next video. Till then, thank you.